Okay, this is the review for week 10. Basically, well, it also includes 9 because basically what you're going to get in week 10 is just a combination of how to manipulate different strings, which we have some methods that we have been working on, and combining for loops and while loops, the use of conditional statements, while loops, and for loops. So it's very important that you have that very clear, that you understand how does a while loop work and how does a for loop work, how the parameters are made, and of course the use of different methods for the string class. Okay, so here it's just something that a small review about some of the methods that you encounter basically on the APCS exam, because there's a lot of string manipulation. If you are able to understand how strings are manipulated and how those parameters affect the different strings, you won't have a problem in the AP exam. So right now I'm just going to create a method called string manipulator, just a method that I want to use. So it comes here and does something that I want. Okay. And here I'm just going to send a string. Okay. I'm going to pass on a string. I want to do this at this point because you guys are going to start using. Remember, you now use only methods. Plus, I want to use a method that actually passes on a parameter, okay? Because you're going to see in a feature section how to pass on different parameters. So it's very important. Now I'm going to create my first string. And this string is going to say, hello, my friend. Okay? Now this string, I'm going to ask it to go and manipulate it, okay? Now this manipulator, I want to break it down. We can break it down into words, okay, using the split method, or we can create different manipulations like turning around the first word, turning around the second word, etc. Okay? So, remember I need to send the string in order for this to work. So in this case, I'm sending the string right here to this method, and this method now is A, okay? So hello my friend now is A inside my method, and this is the one that I'm going to play with, okay? So first of all, this method, we need to declare what it's going to do. In my case, I'm going to say that this method should get the first word and turn it around, or turn it backwards. Okay. So what I need to do first is to use the index of in order to find the space, right? I need to do that in order to find the space, the first space, which is this one. So I'm going to find the space. Okay, so I'm going to find the space. I'm going to create a variable called space. Remember that it's an integer variable because it's the index of. So I have A, which is my string, index of, and of course I need the space. Okay, I need to find the first space. Then let's make sure we actually get the one. We verify that that is the index of that space. I'm going to run my program, and I should get the number 5. Now the number 5 is my 5th position because we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is the 5th position. So I need to grab a substring from 0 all the way to where? 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. So from 0 to 5, which is space, I need to grab my word. So I'm going to do a substring. String word is going to be equal to a dot substring, and it has to be from 0 all the way to space. That way, it doesn't matter if I change my initial string, it's always going to grab it from here. Now let's verify that I'm not missing any characters in my word. Run the program again. So I have 0, so I make sure that I used hello. Okay? Every time that you get a substring, you can always add a little extra method just to make sure that there's no spaces at the end or at the beginning of the phrase or or the word. So right after I get this string, which can be somebody that sent the string, I really want to trim it. Okay? I want to trim the string. Okay? Just because I want to make sure that there are no spaces before the phrase and after the phrase. Okay? So we have hello, and now we need to make it go backwards. Okay? We need to make it go backwards, and of course we need to print it out. Okay? Print it out backwards. For this, I'm going to use a for loop. Okay? Starting at 0, which is going to be my first position, all the way to to word.length. Okay? And I'm going to increase by 1. So I'm going to use a for loop just to do it throughout all the word. Okay? So in this case, I started in 0, and I'm going to go all the way to word length, and that's going to make me track every single character of the word. Okay? Now we can do it the other way around if we want to go to the last, from starting in the last position, starting in word length, and making it greater than 0. And we can do it that way also. Okay? So we can say start at word length. Okay? Which is going to be word length. If we want to start at the last position, remember that it has to be word length minus 1, because word length is the amount of characters. The position is going to be the word length minus 1 all the way to I greater or equal than 0. Because we want it to reach 0. And of course we need to decrease our counter. Okay? Now this is very simple. We just need to print out. In this case we're going to use print. Okay? And we're going to print the letter in that position. Okay? So we can either say character at. Okay? So it's going to be our word dot character at. That way we will find the character at what position? At I, and see what happens in this case. Okay? So now we have our two words. Now we have our word that is completely backwards, okay, using a for loop and manipulating some strings. So this is just a couple of things that you can use, okay, a couple of methods that you can use. Also make sure that you can find or concatenate different methods, okay. You can say substring, the substring of index of, okay. So let's say you want the index of the substring of phrase, okay. You can say, what is the index of the E in hello? Not in hello, my friend, but what is the index of E of hello? Let's try to do that. let's call string manipulator 2. Okay, let's call this one, and I'm going to create another method. I'm going to minimize this method, that way we can work on our new method called public static void string manipulator 2. And here we're going to do that. Okay, so I just want the index of a certain letter. Okay, and if I want the index of a certain letter, I also want the letter and the string, the original string and the letter of the first word. Okay, so in this case I want the string and I want the letter. Okay, so a letter and a character. I mean the string and a character. In this case I have to send a letter and a character, which I'm going to use E. Remember that the difference between characters and strings is that it's a single quotation or a double quotation. If it's just a character, it's single quotation. Okay? I'm going to send a letter and I'm going to send a string, an original string. So I need the E in the word hello. Okay? So in this case, I just need to print out, and I want the index of the substring. So I'm going to say a dot substring. Remember that it goes from left to right when we're using methods. Okay, and of what substring? The substring goes from 0 to 5. From 0 to 5, which is my first word. Okay, so I'm saying, okay, from this substring I want, which is also a string, find the index of B, which is my character that I'm looking for. Okay, so in this case I will, let's see what it returns. Okay, this is the string. Okay, this is a substitution for a string, so we are going to get the index of, so we're going to get a number. Okay, in this case I'm not going to call, let's comment the first method, that way I can call the second method, and I get 1. So from the word hello, okay, the E is in position 1. So I can concatenate different methods, okay, just in case I need them. So in this case, I grab the substring, and then I find the index of that substring. Okay, the order of precedence goes from left to right. Okay, when we're talking about methods. So I think that's enough. I think you guys can actually, with this, if you understand the methods for and while loops, you'll do very well in quiz, practice exam week 9 and practice exam week 10. Okay, that basically is everything.